So this is CAD. So in CAD, most everything is drawn in two-dimensional. So meaning that we have to draw the front elevation, the left elevation, the right elevation, the rear elevation, and then we have the floor plans. So this is a garage apartment. So the first floor is just nothing more than a garage. And then the second floor is actually an apartment. So we have the bedroom, family room, kitchenette, and the walk-in closet and the bathroom. So we can go on here and we can make our dimensions, and we can put in notes, and then we have to go in and break it all apart to do the foundations. So this would be the foundation plan. And in this one, with CAD, our hatching is much easier. So all we have to do is just kind of point and shoot when we do our CAD, or when we do our hatching. Notes, of course, can be transferred, copied. Everything can be copied. And what's really cool about this, let's say, for instance, the homeowner didn't like this particular setup. Let me get rid of that. And I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to pull it up here just to get it out of the way. So again, let's say that the homeowner's not happy about the way this is set up, and maybe they wanted it in a different way. So we can actually mirror this very quickly, and you'll notice that all of the writing, well, most all of the writing, I don't know, this must be a block. So to fix that, again, all I do is go back to mirror, and I can turn that back around. But you'll notice that all of the dimensions, of course, I have to, you have to kind of do a little bit of finagling to get it to come out right. But for the most part, I can flip this very quickly. In the old day when we were doing hand drawings, if they wanted it to be flipped, we would literally turn the paper over backwards. Excuse me. Basically, you had to just draw the whole thing over again. So that is CAD, and so we can break it up. We can put all kinds of notes into it. So basically, this is for the client. So it gives just the room sizes and some general dimensions, and then this would be for the builder, where we go and dimension everything: windows, centers, walls, cabinets, and so forth like that. Then we would do a roof framing plan. So this would be just 2x12 rafters at 24 inches on center, and then the lower section down here for the breezeway would be made out of 4x12 ridge beams. I can do sections. Of course, that I would have to draw. And notice on these lines, it gives us a couple of grab points. We have nodes at the ends, and then one in the middle. So if I grab the one in the middle, I can move it. Well, if I made a mistake, all I got to do is hit Control Z, and that goes back right into place. That's undo in there. So as you can see, this is going to be on a steep hill, so we can redo the footings if we need to, and then we can add. We basically, so instead of having to draw this again and again and again like I would have in a drafting situation where I was drawing it on paper, I just copied this whole thing, and I put it over here and I put it down here. So it's the same drawing, except I'm showing less information here for the client, more information for the builder here, and then I'm just taking all of that crap away and putting my electrical stuff in here for the electrician. And so, like I say, this is all done two-dimensional, just like we would have drawn on paper. Now let's go over to Revit. So in Revit, we can draw and we can print this in 2 dimensions just like we done before. But let me go back a little bit. So I've got my floor plan here, and I've got all my dimensions on there. I've got room names, I've got room numbers, I've got door numbers, I've got window numbers. And I can, I can do my foundations. Notice on to, let's see, is that the first section? No, that's second section. So I didn't draw this. I did not draw this at all. Now I did put some notes on it, but I didn't have to draw it again because it drew it for me. All right, so here's my foundation plan, and I put this section mark in here, and it done it for me. So let me show you. So right now, let me kind of give you an idea here. So this is the number one general section through the roof or through the wall. I have that section 2 that I showed you, the footing. Section 3 is a section through the front porch and deck. Now all of these were not drawn, so you notice there's only 3 sections down here. So let's go back up here to the floor plan. I'm going to grab my little section marker here, and let's see, I'm going to do a whole floor section here. I mean a whole house section. So I just put, double click on that line, and there is my building cut for me. Now how is that done? So when I was over here on the foundation, when I drew this wall here, I gave it a height. And if you look right over here, it goes from the well, let's see here. Base constraint is from the crawl space, top of footing. Okay, that TO means top of footing, to the next level up, which is the foundation. So that wall is actually drawn in 3 dimensions. So with that said, I go over here and I hit my handy dandy 3-dimensional button, and bam, there's my house. Okay, so let me go back just a second. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click that wall. Okay, so I want to see what the whole wall looks like. Right there it is. That is the whole wall. All right, so this gets even better. I can turn it. I can look underneath its skirt to look at that. Did I do that foundation right? Yes, I did. I can pull it around, and I can look at the front end of it. Now you might be asking, what in the world is that right there? Okay, so this is a solar porch cover. All right, so how does that work? So let me explain that. So another good thing about this particular program is that I can set the sun. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit the sun path, and I'm going to hit sun settings, and currently it is at 114 Berry Street in Morganton, North Carolina at 12:45. I want a single. Do I want a steel? Yes, I want a steel. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the sun on. Bam, look at those shadows. Ain't that cool? All right, so at 12:45 in the middle of the day on the shortest day of the year, that's where the shade is going to be on this particular house. This is a house that I actually lived in, by the way. My parents built it, and then I lived in it for a while after I was older. My grandmother moved in it as I was growing up, and then when she passed away, I moved into it. So let's go back to our sun settings here, and let's move it over. Wait a minute. So talk about this solar cover here. Notice that I have light coming through the windows. All right, so throughout the day, I can get sunlight through this window because of these louvers. Now let's go change the sun over, and we're going to give it June 21st, which is the longest day of the year. Now watch this crap. Bam! So now the sun is much further up in the sky in the summertime, and it's hot, and I have no light coming in those windows at all. So if this were facing perfectly south, then I have, it's all shaded in. So that's really cool. Now, it gets even better. I want to see the placement of the sun. So I go down here and I turn the sun path on. Bam, there's my sun. All right. So there's where thy sun goes up and down in the summertime. Move it. All right. So that's where the sun's going to be hitting it at 7:40, 7:45 on June 21st. And then 6:15 in the afternoon on June 21st. So let's change that back to 12. So December, see how my sun is way down here in the sky. So that's where the sun would be traveling on December 21st, which is the shortest day of the year. And you can see, noon, 8 o'clock. Okay, so my shadow is very long at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I can go back and change that to 6, or I can change that to 10, which is October. I can change it to 3, which is March, and it will move the on the house itself, so I can find out if it is if we have solar correctness on here. So I'm going to turn the shadows off for a minute. Now I can go back even further. I can take off the roof, and the reason that I would take off the roof, and I'm going to take off this wall here, is I can actually go in here and I can look inside the house. All right, so I can do three-dimensional look-ins of the house. So let's go back and put the roof and everything back on. All right. So the client wants to know what it's going to look like if they walk through the house. So let's do a walkthrough. So I'm just going to kind of do a series of clicks here. We'll look around in the kitchen. We'll come into the living room, and then I'm going to go out the front door. And then I'm going to walk out in the yard, and I'm going to turn around and look at the house. Finish walkthrough. Edit walkthrough. So now I got to remember, I don't use this program a whole great deal, so now I got to find out where my walkthroughs are. Ta-da! Where's my walkthroughs? Well, hunky dory. View. Well, shuckaroos. Candies beaten. Walkthroughs. No, that's not what I want. Well, phooey. Where is my dang walkthrough? I am so sorry. I thought I had all this figured out. Render. No, I don't want render. No. 3D views. Well, shucks. Can I pause this? Yes, I can. I'm going to pause this and I'll look at this. Okay, so it was there all along. I just missed it somewhere. It was right there, walkthroughs. Click on the little button, hit that, and you get the walkthrough. So once you, well, pooey, now I got to turn you off and see how to play this thing. God, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I have to export it. So I go to export and find images and animation, walkthrough. And then it's going to ask me, do you want all the frames? How many seconds between the frames, the dimensions, and so forth. So for the lack of time, I'm going to go ahead and just hit this real quick. And I'm saving it and estimating. So it's going to process this. And this may take longer than I expected. So, bam, an error, of course, always. So we'll save that recovery file, and well, it may be because I'm running too much stuff through here. So I've got I've only got CAD, and I had Revit going on, and I've also got the recording the video. So nevertheless, you can do a walkthrough, and if you want to, you can. Well, let's just do this: Revit walkthrough, and let's see if we get a walkthrough animation in Revit. So here we go. Is a nice little movie. Trying to get an idea. Let's do it that way.
Hi guys, this is.
There we go. So that's kind of what it would do. You can, you can, and this is going to show you how to do it. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. So we'll fast forward. So there's where, something, it gives it color, it gives it a whole bunch of different things. So you see now how to black and white. This would, this is going to give you a pretty color of rendering, and you can add lifelike stuff to it. So that is black and white walkthrough, and it doesn't show you in a color. So I guess the color one was back here at the beginning. Yes. So there's the color one. Okay, so that gives you an idea of Revit. So Revit is the high-tech, wonderful, handy-dandy, schmanzy, crashable, you got more crap that's going on, and you really got to have a fast computer, huge computer for this to work. So anyway, guys, I hope this gives you an idea of how drafting has evoluted across the eons. So thank you very much.